I have heard from many students that pronunciation is the most difficult part of learning English. In this video, let's talk about some ways that you can go about improving your English pronunciation. Practicing a little each day can go a long way. So today, let's discuss some of the ways that you can make your English pronunciation sound more natural. Are you ready to learn how to improve your pronunciation and start sounding more natural in English? If so, then let's get into it. Pronunciation is an important part of English. You don't need to sound exactly like a native speaker, but speaking clearly in English is very important. The most important part of a conversation is, can you be understood and can you understand the person that you're speaking to? If you have those two things, then you have the makings of a great conversation. You will have more confidence and better conversations. So today, let's talk about some of the ways that you can improve your pronunciation in English. First, let's talk about reading out loud. And just 5 to 10 minutes is okay. Of course, the more that you can do, the better. Work on the muscles and prepare your mouth to make those English sounds. First, find something that you really want to read. Make sure that it's something that you really have an interest in because you might have to go over it more than once. Then find somewhere that you really feel comfortable projecting your voice. Go over a passage and get yourself into the habit of really using your voice to sound out the words as naturally in English as possible. My children had to do this every day when they were elementary students as part of their homework. It was slow at first, but after a while, they started to naturally get better and better, and you can really see the improvements. I'm sure this is something that can help you too. A bonus tip is if you're able to listen to that book in an audio form and then practice matching your voice against the reader of that book in English. You don't have to sound exactly like that English reader, but this can really be a great way for you to start to find your voice in English. Find a clear way of speaking that works for you, that's great for you to get your point of view across in English, and that's going to take us to the next tip. Get to know the sounds in English. There are going to be lots of sounds that you're just not familiar with. You can start by finding out what sounds are difficult for you, and then you can go from there. The students that I teach in Japan really have trouble with the B and V sounds, F and H sounds, as well as probably the most difficult R and L sounds. Many Japanese learners also have trouble with the TH sound as well. I just think that there is no equivalent sound in Japanese, so this is a really tough one to get out. I found that for me, when I was first starting to learn Japanese, the tsu sound was very difficult. There was just not the really similar sounding pronunciation in English, and so that was really tough one for me to get out. Every country has sounds that are difficult to pronounce, but what you want to do is find out those sounds that are going to be difficult for you. Once you have those sounds down, really start to go about listening and then practicing the correct sounds until you have them down and make them second nature for you. The more exposure that you can get to sounds that are difficult for you, the better it's going to be overall. That's going to take us right into the next tip, which is speaking about tongue twisters. First of all, have you ever tried tongue twisters? This can be a really fun way for you to practice your pronunciation. You can also use tongue twister to practice lots of different sounds. Tongue twisters also give your mouth lots of practice really moving your mouth to make sure that you can produce those specific sounds in English. Check online or get yourself a book of the most common tongue twisters. Find some that you think you can do and then work on them little by little each day until you improve. See if you can repeat them over and over without making any mistakes. Set a challenge goal for yourself and then go for it. We used to do lots of tongue twisters way back when I was a little boy in elementary school. Try them out and then see what you think. Compare yourself to someone doing the tongue twister correctly and see how well you match up. Try practicing that one out loud. See if you can do it 3 times fast and see how many times you can go without making a mistake. Tongue twisters force your mouth to really work on the correct movements to get those sounds out correctly, and that's going to take us right into the next tip. This is something that I have mentioned in a video before, but shadowing another native speaker is a great way for you to practice your pronunciation. Find a voice that you like and then imitate it to see how closely you can match your voice to that person's voice. Make sure that it's a voice that you really like because you don't want to get bored with it when you start to do it over and over again. If you like, you can even use my voice. Find some English content that you like that's going to be a little below your English level, because here you want to focus more on pronouncing the words correctly and not necessarily the meaning at this time. You could always go back and find out the meaning later, but right now we really want to focus in on our pronunciation. Go over the imitation as many times as you need to get it down. Once you have it down to your liking, find another one and then repeat the process again. You can find passages from your favorite movie characters, you can try imitating your favorite TV characters, or even YouTubers. You can even listen to the news or practice with an interview. Whatever you use, just make sure that you go through it well enough to get it down. Then just move on to something different when you have it. You can go through it line by line, or you can do it in small chunks. Just remember that the main thing here is for you to work on your pronunciation. You don't really have to focus in on necessarily understanding everything that you are saying, but we can always get back to that later, and this is going to take us right into the final tip. If you can practice a combination of these each day, you will get better. You don't have to do it very long, but you do want to try to carve out some time to do something each day, and that's going to be the main thing you want to focus on at this stage. If you can even just find 5 to 10 minutes a day, I really think you'll start to see and notice the improvements. So how about try a little out today and then see what you think? Okay, how about get out there and start to practice your pronunciation? You don't have to be a native speaker. You don't necessarily even have to sound like a native speaker, but having clear English that the person you're speaking to can understand is a very important part of having a great conversation. If you've made it this far, I hope you got some great benefit out of this video. If so, how about share this video with someone else that you think it would help? If you're interested in learning any more English with me, how about click on this video that's popping up on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you.